work in bringing this group together again, as he has done in the past. It's lovely to speak here with my friend Eva Dowling, and great to see her here as Laska Hirlach. We were in the council at a similar time, and it's wonderful to see how things progress. I am so excited to be here as well with this very idea, with this group of talented people who are already, the most connected in terms of what we're trying to do with hubs and connected hubs around the country. Really giving ourselves the opportunity for genuinely balanced regional development, for the opportunity to develop hubs of expertise. I see that in my own work in the Department of Finance as Minister of the State with responsibility for financial services. Hubs of, InsurTech, for example, in Carlow, of FinTech in Kilkenny and Killorglin, and places where people have come together to reinforce their own skills, but to really develop what is at the cutting edge of Ireland's financial technology sector, but outside of Dublin. Outside of Dún Laoghaire and right around the country, and to see that supported through the Hub network with people and organisations such as your own, but also to see it supported with another area of my responsibility, the credit unions. Again, in terms of developing really balanced regional development, to have what is a community social bank grounded and rooted in every town and every community in Ireland. There's some phenomenal opportunity, there's something really powerful there as those two forces combine. And maybe one of the forces, the credit union, okay, it's 60 years old, 65 years old, a lot of them are having their birthdays this year, and I get to go to the birthday parties, which is great. But it's coming from something of the past, and it's coming from something of an idea of the past, but very much grounded in community. And what you're doing in the digital hubs is obviously speaking very much to the future, but again, doing it in the community. And it's that thread, that community thread, that will help us balance and provide the services, number one, but balance out our country in terms of development, and make sure that everybody in Ireland has access to the opportunity to work at the cutting edge of technology, the opportunity to get whatever financial service they wish to get, but all through the place of their local community or the community that they choose to live in. And in terms of climate change and in terms of the contribution to the development of this state and the island of Ireland as a complete entity rather than the over-indexation of Dublin, these two forces are very, very important and very powerful, and you play a huge role in that. I'm so excited to be here with the author of my very favourite book, Mark Henry, in fact, who I believe is going to speak after me, and I'm hoping I get to stay. But the reason I mention it is because Mark's book speaks to the reality of Ireland as a really strong, positive place with so many achievements in terms of health, so many achievements in terms of the establishment and development of our democratic system, so many achievements in terms of our participation in Europe and our development of our economy through bad times, good times, right through the 70s, the 80s, and people here will have known those ups and downs and swings. What we have now, though, is a stability, I hope, grounded through that experience of ups and downs, with interest rates in the 80s, oil prices in the 70s, obviously the disastrous financial crash that we all experienced in the last 15 years. But I think we've come out of that now to a point of stability and a different type of resilience for the state. If you look at the distribution of sectors that have developed in this state, whether it's pharma, medtech, technology, financial services, I'm having in the Dáil later talking about the film industry and the resilience that we're building into that through scripted and unscripted sort of work, and how to develop that as a resilient industry as well. We are reducing our single points of failure that we had over-indexed on in the past, and developing a resilience throughout our economy that means that our people in employment can transition between sectors and provide better, more resilient comfort for ourselves throughout the future. Where we really need to build that resilience, though, is on a pan-island basis, and reduce this over-indexation of Dublin and really focus on balanced regional development. And the work that you're doing, here, the fact that you've come together to reinforce this work, is an essential part, in my view, of that balanced development. It is an essential part of having 12-month-a-year quality jobs and vibrant towns right down the west coast of Ireland. The big opportunity in that is obviously going to be offshore wind and the jobs and the technical jobs, the technician jobs that will go with that right down the western seaboard. And that is an extraordinary opportunity for this state in terms of employment, in terms of balanced regional development, but more than anything else, in terms of long-term economic security, energy resilience, and our contribution to changing the way in which we have created and use energy. I'm so thankful to Owen for the work that Owen Costello, for the work that he has done in using Dún Laoghaire to help drive this work. Dún Laoghaire being the first satellite town really of the city of Dublin, and to situate that in the idea of Dargan Day, and it's a lovely concept. It's a lovely way of thinking about that sort of connected hubs. So welcome to Dún Laoghaire and everything that we have here. It's great to see you here. Great to see the People's Park, for example, the new cafe just down the way there. You know, you've the beautiful pier there. We've got our fantastic town here, beautiful Victorian town. Somebody described it once to me as like a country town in Dublin. You know, we have everything, including shawls, nationwide, nearly nationwide. I'm not sure exactly, but that work into driving digital first in the first instance through Dún Laoghaire, which is its own satellite town, and there are so many people here, as we learned through COVID, including myself, who don't need to go into the city at 9 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and don't need to be there. And all can you when you look at it from where we were, all of us travelling into the city at the same time, staying there all day long, and then all of us travelling out at the same time again. Like, it was mental. It made no sense whatsoever. And the opportunity, as Eva has said, through COVID, to lean into the opportunity to benefit from new technologies, new ways of working. As she has described, the benefit to politics of that, or to the local politics of being able to participate in a hybrid way. And we have taken the opportunity, I hope, from COVID to take the best of that experience, the best of our learnings, the best of new technology, and enable us to work in different ways, enable us to work in ways that provide more equality in homes between the distribution and the opportunity to spend time with children, for example, particularly at that early stage. The equality in terms of access to training and university courses. I speak to students around the country who are doing online courses in fintech, online courses in anti-money laundering and compliance. People who had never thought they might work in financial services now stepping into that through the medium of being able to do micro-credential courses online. It is a leveling, it is an equality, an opportunity for equality in so many different ways. And now with the opportunity to develop that with yourselves as well. Obviously, the government has a strong role in this. Obviously, the government has a very clear strategy around our rural future, Ireland's rural development policy, which was published in March 2021. The government recognises the opportunity for rejuvenation that remote working hub development can have. And I know that Heather Humphreys in that department is committed to establishing an integrated network of 400 remote working hubs by 2025. And she has said very quickly, she has said herself, virtually overnight. Virtually overnight we change from that very, very illogical working model to something that makes much more sense. Where Zoom, although none of us, let's just be honest, none of us can still work the mute button. Right? Everybody still gets it wrong, including me. Despite none of us being able to work the mute button properly, we all know how to have a Zoom meeting. We all know how to participate in a hybrid way, and they have become permanent fixtures, I think, until the next thing happens. But when the next thing happens, Ireland as an agile state, as we have proven ourselves to have this agility, we will adapt to that too. But in the meantime, there is an opportunity here, driven by yourselves and the work that you're doing all over the country, to really take the next step and allow us to build the resilience and the opportunity that is balanced regional development, that is digitisation, that is remote working, and all of the opportunities for equality and sustainable development that can come from that. And I hope I get to stay around for a little while before somebody drags me back into the centre of town in a car, of all things. But thank you very much for coming to today. Thank you for participating. Thank you for working with Owen on this project.